Welcome to HyperScale Video Workshop. My name is Brett Green. Just a quick one today. I received on my doorstep on Friday afternoon 2 new kits from Bronco in China. The 1/48 scale MiG-15 and also in the same box the 1/48 scale MiG-15bis. So these are both labelled Korean War boxings, and it was interesting to see that these were released. We're not exactly short of 1/48 scale MiG-15s at this stage, with kits from both Tamiya and Trumpeter. There may be more that I'm not aware of as well. I've got to admit it's not my sweet spot of aircraft expertise, but I thought that I would at the very least show you what's in the box and see if it might be worth having a look at. So I've got the MiG-15bis in my hand at the moment. I'll look at that first. The differences basically between the MiG-15 and the MiG-15bis were some general improvements, but visibly on the outside, the arrangement of the weapons on the lower weapons tray or panel. So I'd imagine that there'll be different parts for the MiG-15 and MiG-15bis in that area. But let's take a look at the bis. Quite a stout cardboard box, which is certainly something in its favour. And it looks like the sprues are packed individually. They're not Ziploc or resealable, so just open that with my trusty Alpha blade and see what's inside. Okay, well, that looks pretty nice. What we have are the fuselage halves for the first bag, and from what I can see, the surface textures look very nice. They're thin and they're crisp. And yeah, it's very well done. There's a very slight texture on the plastic, but you might want to just polish it if you were going to finish this in a natural metal finish. But otherwise, if it was camouflaged, you'll get away with it, no problem. The other interesting thing that I can see from this side, but you can't see there yet, is that similar to their P-51, it has the large locating pegs and holes for the fuselage. So I'm not sure if they're going to be claiming it's no glue required, but it will certainly be a very well-aligned fuselage, assuming that the locating pegs are in the right place. So that's interesting. That's good. So the tail surfaces have the rudder moulded with the horizontal stabilizers, so they're fixed in position. Let's have a look at the next sprue. Actually, let's have a look at the third sprue, because that's the wings. And once again, the Alpha knife comes out. I love my Alpha knife. Tamiya sell them now as well. The only difference is that the Alpha ones are yellow, Tamiya ones are black. Okay, so we have the wings, and once again, very, very nice. Really, really nice texture. And the wing fences are moulded in place. They are possibly a little overscale, but not, horribly so. The pitot tube is moulded onto the leading edge. I wish they wouldn't do that. It will inevitably be knocked off when I'm building the kit. What we also have are the flaps, which have some nice perforated detail on the inside. The inside surface of the wings in the corresponding area also has structural detail in the roof of the flaps. So they're pretty nice. And the third grey sprue, so it's just 3 sprues, quite a simple kit. Looks like it would be a pretty fast build. You would have noticed as well when I showed you the inside of those wings that there are also those large locating pegs and holes. So that's obviously a design philosophy with this kit. Oops, I've just lost. The splitter has come off the there we go, sprue. So I'll pop that back in the bag and make sure I don't lose it. Here we have various ordnance. So it looks like a slipper tank there. Looks like drop tanks. Oh, okay, so we've got 2 cannon panels. I haven't looked at the instructions yet, but I presume one of these panels will be for the MiG-15 and one for the MiG-15bis. We also have some cockpit parts, what appears to be the backrest of the seat. But interestingly, we can see here, we've got the instrument panel, and there's absolutely nothing on it. So I'll have a look in the rest of the box if there's a photo etch part that goes on there, or possibly a decal by the time we get to those. But I would think that a decal on a flat piece of plastic like that would be inadequate in 1/48 scale. So I won't make any prejudgments. I'll have a look at the rest of the box before damning anyone about that. There we are. There's a splitter back in there. Just before we get to the decals and other parts, we have one clear sprue. And once again, one of the parts has come off the sprue. That is the main sliding section of the canopy, which is a bit cloudy. Let's see if I can get that to focus. There we go. It's a little bit cloudy. I suspect that a dip in future will improve that, but you can see it is quite cloudy straight off the sprue. And here we have, oh, that's interesting, the rest of the clear parts, but curiously, they are nowhere near as cloudy as the sliding canopy section. So I could even be tempted, if there is such a thing as a 1/48 scale Tasman or Falcon vac form canopy, I'd be tempted to use the sliding section of that and replace the fairly cloudy kit part. But we also have what appear to be probably camera covers and a few lights and bits and pieces. So there we are. Let's pop that back in the bag as well, so we don't lose them. Let's see if we can find some decals and solve the mystery of the instrument panel. So I've got a small bag here. It's already opened, Ziploc bag. And we have, okay, there we go. So we have national markings for Chinese Air Force, and we also have just a decal for that instrument panel. It doesn't actually look too bad, I've got to say. It might look alright. I think it'd be better to have a little bit of raised bezel detail. But I know as well that some modelers don't like that. They feel that the raised bezel detail is difficult to get the decals to sit cleanly over. So maybe they're responding to modelers out there saying that they didn't want raised detail on the instrument panel. There's a second decal sheet as well, and that has more individual markings. So we've got kill marks and individual aircraft markings there. And we also have a marking guide with a couple of bare metal aircraft and a couple in a 3-colour camouflage, although the demarcation between what they call the green, oh well, maybe it's a 2-colour camouflage, maybe it's just green and sand, but it looks like there's a third disruptive colour, but the instructions aren't actually talking about them. I'll let you know. That's it. And then we have the very small instruction booklet. In fact, it's not a booklet. It's a single fold out with all the instructions in there. So it looks like it'll be a pretty easy build. Now, one thing I did read about before I opened the box was the shape of the wing root fillet. Yes, I can see what they were talking about. So, can you see at the top of the wing root there, and it sort of swishes down at the back at a sort of a fishtail angle. So it's kind of, you know, going down like that. That should be straight from essentially from the highest point of the wing fillet to the trailing edge of the wing fillet. So that's a bit wrong, I think, from what I understand. It looks like it wouldn't be that difficult to fix with a bit of putty and sanding. So I don't think that's a killer at all. So that is the MiG-15bis. I'll just have a really quick look at the MiG-15, but I would assume that it's probably the same kit, seeing as the sprue contains the two different armament panels. I would imagine it's probably going to be the same sprues as the MiG-15bis, and yes, it looks like it is. So the only difference there will be the markings, and I think this one just has bare metal finishes, no camouflage finishes. Yeah, it looks like that's the case. So a bit of red marking on here and there, and a splash of colour. So that's all good. So essentially, you're getting the same kit, but it's different markings with the 15bis or the 15. So that's it. They're the two brand new Bronco MiG-15s. I haven't had a chance to compare these to the two kits that are out there at the moment, or even if there are more than two kits out there at the moment. But I've got to say, there are no disastrous killer problems I can see here. The fin fillet on the wing root is actually, you know, looks like it'll be easy to fix, or it wouldn't be difficult to live with it either. The slightly cloudy rear canopy is something that will be fixed with a dip in future. And what was the other issue? Oh, the flat instrument panel. If you're going to be using a photo etch update set, then it's not a problem. If you don't mind the decal, then it's not a problem. Otherwise, you might have to make some instrument bezel and switch detail yourself. But no, it looks really nice. The surface textures are very subtle, lovely and crisp and consistent. The quality of the plastic is good. As I mentioned before, there's a very slight pebbly texture, but you could really get away with not worrying about that. And it looks like it'll be a really fast build. So Bronco's MiG-15s looks like it's quite a reasonable kind of a kit, and maybe a good one for beginner modelers as well. Anyway, that's about all we have today from HyperScale Video Workshop. From Brett Green, it's bye for now.